be able to help in driving the broadband penetration. I would say we would need more from the NCC. There is the issue of the initiatives, and then there is the issue of spectrum and rollout. When the companies came out, they got all these no duty, no this, no that, no that. Now we would want, for this acceleration to happen through the broadband wholesale services, considering that the ecosystem is old and it's not all the that have been put on the table at the moment, it will be a nice look at incentivizing that particular license. Aside that is the issue of the enterprise spectrum, enterprise business backhaul spectrum that they cannot mention. I think that is one of the essence of the wholesale wireless access license, and the issue of collaborating. We've actually come around to many of the operators. We have enough spectrum to be able to accommodate most of your. Austin has talked about constraint. We talked about scarcity of spectrum. But when an operator has been licensed as wholesale, wholesale is simply to be able to energize other operators. The issue of collaboration has been quite difficult to achieve in our environment. I don't know whether that needs to be regulated. The regulators sometimes they do their bit. It is now left for us players and cooperate with each other. So I would say now that is the comment I have.
Aigbogun, thank you very much. Aigbogun is from he has told us a bit doing. Very grateful. Ikena from Airtel has provided a network to the discussions this afternoon. We're great of services. We need to be careful how it is that we, very and quickly get the regulator to take the whip and chase our providers. We come from where we are now is not perfect, but I always believe that ultimately if a customer doesn't like the best is for the customer to move to another service provider rather than a clamor for the regulator to take the whip. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure if I ask you, you will gladly do. Let's give our panelists a hand up.
Thank you to our section moderator, Mr. Funke, and of course the panelists. They've done a great job. You see, what to attend this type of event is that the questions that I don't get is hot. I'm glad that whether the students as well. We will continue. We could have done lunch, but so that a lot of us have an engagement elsewhere else. So I think we lunch, not really waste of time and then continue the program, but I think it makes a lot more sense for us to continue the program and then we'll have all the time in the world to do lunch when we're finished. So to our next presenter, Nena, Regional Coordinator, Worldwide Web Foundation. She's going to be speaking on end-user perspectives on broadband value added services. Nena, please.
Hello, people. Okay, so the easiest way to make someone a bad person is to bring the person between people at lunch. And that's what they do to ladies when you have to present. So people are like, okay, when is she finishing? It's a good thing I cut down on the 250 slides. I don't know enough, yeah? Okay. said, shut up, don't give those people trouble. My question to the last panel was going to be, what is broadband and spectrum in any Nigerian language? Like in Igbo or Yoruba and Africa? And one of the things I do is try to explain affordable internet to 5-year-olds, to 60-year-olds, and to 70-year-olds. And it's not an easy job trying to explain broadband to these people. We work with NCC, we work with some of us here to drive down the price of broadband internet access. Next slide, please. And these are the stakeholders. We have global private sector. I'm here because MainOne is one of our key members on this journey, driving down the cost of internet access for West Africa and hopefully for Africa. And go on, please. We have industry members, we have step members, and in the next slide we also have a beginning BusinessDay, some cultural parts to it, there's some education to it, and for last end users, the end users, people need is going on for them to be able to get into the ecosystem. Two important slides. This is one of them. What is your internet issue? It is too expensive. I don't have the requirement. I don't have the computer. I don't have the children. It's not valuable to that is the bottom line. In the next slide, we ask the same question. We've asked the same questions around in our research, and it comes down to many users not seeing benefit and value on the internet. And when the panel will come up here, so we ask those who are using the internet, what are you using actually? What is it that is of value to you? Why would you bring out your money? They say, oh, well, I like to do things, participate, I want to learn information. I'm running my small business in Computer Village, in area, in Suleja. I have the value for that. One of the other things we do, please go ahead, is the affordability report. Next slide. And what we're saying is that overall, Nigeria is not doing very bad. But what we measure is policy drive. You go out on international level, you see that, oh, Nigeria is coming up, Rwanda is coming up, and all of that. We do not really measure the user attitude. You don't measure the last mile effect. I'm coming from Aba and I went to see my mother, and I said policy places in broadband internet access across Africa. Because I'm here, but this is my job. But in comparing you to Rwanda, there's a bit of a space. So there's still more work to be done. Okay. Affordability. I think with your business people and Richard has been very good in sharing all of this. So I'm not going to spend. But it's very leadership in infrastructure sharing, leadership in access to spectrum. I want to underline that leadership issue, even within users, because issues are not very important in the and in the good and what an growing economy like Nigeria can do this as well. So I believe that where we're going, we could go faster if we're not that I want to discuss before I finish my show. So infrastructure is being invested in. We have the likes of MainOne rolling out fiber. Service providers are ready. We have the juniors and the co-owners and people who are rolling out services. App developers, Femi Longe is here, he will be speaking on this panel. Police rate, startup, there's a whole of mushrooms, any kind of service that Nigerians want. The media is ready, BusinessDay, Nollywood of course, everybody is willing to come to the industry. And even services are pretty online. And people like me have been training people and escorting them, initiating them, bringing them online. But then we're still at 10% of broadband adoption. So all of this work And in 107, we don't have broadband. So what we are here as the priestess, and I'm speaking to people violent, the baptized people, people who pray in the name of the access, content, and platforms, and they're only just the I have that thing that I bought from one of the providers, and I pay 7,000 for 14 gig, and I have only spent 10 days in and out of Nigeria with 20 gig. I spent 7,000 online browsing. I don't know what the company is, but so I paid 8,000, and it finished in 5 days, and I got another 8,000 yesterday. I'm in a hurry to leave, because in the country where I live in, first because I had a fixed line telephone which, so my home internet is ADSL, and I'm limited only by speed, which is 2 megabits per second, and I have unlimited access for $60 a month. And it's Côte d'Ivoire, it's not even far from here. Yes, Abidjan. Okay, so when we were talking about, when I speak to users and I ask them, like my mother, don't you know what you can benefit from the internet? It's me here. Me, I won't go anywhere. So do we expect to go, or are we coming to users? What value are they seeing in it? Last time I was here, petrol was so I paid 50 Thailand to Ikeda. Okay, so why will an everyday Nigerian who gets 20,000, 50,000 at the end of the month, what can we do? So the person can remove 2,000 from the 50,000 and invest it into our common business? That's the question. So a father of family wants to plan 20,000, let's even take 10,000 naira of the family budget into broadband internet access. What value will he see? That's the question, that's a point of my presentation. That is a question I want to put to our panelists. What will it take for someone to look at his money and say, transport, this one is for swallow, this one is for, and this one is for broadband data. What will you present to such a Nigerian? Because here we are, there are about 50, 70 of us. We are already convinced. But when you step out here, you will find 5 out of 10 Lagosians who are online. But when you move away from Lagos to Shagamu, it will be 2 out of 10. By the time you 1 out of 10. By the time you go further, we are getting consent. Question in my next slide, this down below is, we get users to see value in the value that we see, because it's value for women. Value for those who go to good schools is not the same as those who go to poor schools. Value for those who are electricity empowered is not the same as value for those who are electricity disenfranchised. Okay, so value for people differ, and that is the question to end user, the question of value. How do we get people on broadband by in 2 years, 27? I don't know. And when can we have 60% of Nigeria? Understand and imagine that 100 million Nigerians are using broadband. This country, people will queue up to buy Nigerian visas every day, because it will be a good place to be, it will be good business for all of us, and it will be developed, get a viable ecosystem, so that we don't just move from government to service providers and to the city and back. So we move around the whole of Nigeria. We have investment coupled with availability, followed by relevant content and affordability for the users. Those are questions that I bring. What is our position? How do we engage the people? How do we get them happy? How do we get the Nigerian to bring out this money and invest into broadband like every one of us? How do we get families and in their budget, in their daily budget, in their monthly budget, how to plan for it to the stakeholders? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. See, that's why our mother to take care of us. They know our problems, and she made it very brief for us. Thank you once again, man. I'll go right away and then call the discussants in the panel, and of course, moderate this session, and those questions they'll help you answer them, and of course, people in the audience. I'll call Mr. Sam Aigbogun, who is head ICT Lagos Mainland East Region FIRS, please. Mr. Sam. Okay, we have Femi Longe. Femi Longe at co-creation. Thank you. Chika Mobi, LIF Lab. She's also represented by Olumi Ebayebo, the digital media manager. You're welcome. I'll hand over the discussion right away to Nena. Thank you.
We really need to take a photo since there are two ladies on this panel. It hasn't happened the whole day. Okay. So, I mean, I don't have anything here to say. I have been to your place, I know you. You were in Yaba, you were in Lagos. When you go away from Yaba and Lagos, and you go home, what's the value for all as a developer? How can you convince those people to invest in broadband as users?
Thank you very much, Nana. Thank you for MainOne BusinessDay. I'm Femi Longe from the Co-Creation Hub, and what we do is encourage the development of technology solutions that solve real human being problems in Nigeria. And I think that probably is, you adequately captured it in your slide, but that probably is the starting point of how do we get the end users to invest in technology. How much technology